Again, we were in our Cape Town office. I then briefed the minister the first issue on the item on my list of issues to discuss with her was this call from the president. And I informed the minister that I had received this call and the president had requested that the meeting be postponed. And I also told Minister what I have done. And I had a brief conversation with the minister, it's same governance, that to say, Minister, even they tried to call you, I even sent a message, and I was even saying to her how I was sweating because it was my first time receiving a call from the president, so I wanted to make sure that I do the right thing. And then the minister engaged on the other matters that were on the report, but on the issue of the call, she just said, she shrugged and just said, ish.
Thank you.
And we didn't have a conversation about that.
Yesterday,
just repeat that. What was the minister's reaction? What did the minister say?
She just shrugged and said, ish, Mazi.
Chat on that one later on.
And we didn't have a conversation. And so I would not know even whether she had the reasons from the president, whether she had a conversation with the chairperson. And that's where we left the conversation with her.
But I don't hear a certain part of what you're saying. Did she say you should not have had that conversation with the president? Or did she say the two of you, that is yourself and the minister, didn't have this conversation about the president having called?
I reported, but her response was, Eish, Mazi. And then we didn't have any other conversation. It was not like, so what transpired after, Minister, did you speak to the chairperson? Did you speak to the president? And so I would be lying if I say chairperson, there was a conversation. We didn't. She just said.
What was your understanding of what her attitude was towards the fact that the president had called and asked that the board meeting be postponed? What was your understanding of what her attitude was to this development?
Just let me to believe that in my mind that either she knew what had transpired in her absence, or that she had already had that conversation either with the chairperson or with the president.
Act 32 of 2000.
You didn't get the impression that she was wishing this development had not happened?
What I was very clear was that it was not a conversation that she was going to have with me.
Oh, yes, yeah. Okay, all right. That's fair enough. So you had a difficult time when the president called and made this request, and you had a difficult time when you had to report to the minister about this call.
Yes, Chair, and I had a difficult time period subsequent to that. And maybe at the end, Chairperson, I would like to do make a few remarks, because it has been a call that I have been asked in so many quarters to explain.
About that call?
Yes.
Is that so? Okay, all right. Well,
benefit from this.
Well, if you choose to say something about that and other matters at the end,
will you net by ons opskuif? Councillors, I'm at EAT of 03/2021, the draft of 21-22 fourth review of the fourth generation IDP and draft budget for 2021-2022, as stated on EAT. You must, I think you've all went through it. There was a bundle of 8 different packages of info that was combined in this draft budget and IDP. And I hope any one of you have read through it. Gaan ze 'n bietjie opgaan asseblief, Tasha? Tot by die recommendations. The recommendation, and I'm going to read this to you. I'm not going to ask you on each and every one of them to take cognizance of it. At first, I will read it, and then I will open and give the mayor a chance to lay the budget to table. Recommendation for the first one. That
Chairperson?
Yes, sir.
Speaker, sorry to interject. I'm very sorry. Apparently, Councillor Gous can't hear what's going on in the meeting. I just called IT to try to figure it out. I'm busy with her on WhatsApp. Is there a possibility you can hang on for a few seconds?
I'll do so.
But she can't. Apparently, she can't hear.
Yeah. Well, my volume is on 100. I can't go in.
No. We can hear you properly. And I see the Deputy Mayor's hand is up as well. I don't know if he can't hear, but I can hear properly. But apparently, Councillor Gous can't hear anything. But we're trying to sort this out now.
Okay, let's rest a while, and I'll proceed as soon as I've got some news that says she can hear what is going on here.
Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Speaker, I can hear you perfectly well. I think maybe the sound is off because, I don't know, maybe if you log in a bit late, then it's problematic. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you very much, the Mayor, Councillor Lechaba.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Lechaba.
I can hear you, Speaker. Thank you very much. Speaker, no, I don't agree with Director Janchis that we should wait a minute or a few minutes. It's not the first time we have a network problem, and no one was waited for and give a signal that the network is bad. This is why the ANC decided to come to this, to be closer to the municipality, so that if there's a problem, I can solve the problem. So I ask you to carry on with the meeting, or if not so, then every time then you have a problem, we have to wait. Thank you, Speaker.
Cannot differ with you, Councillor. Will you please remove your hand, Councillor?
Speaker, Councillor Gous is in. Speaker, Councillor Gous is in. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. Yeah, that'll cost you an arm and a leg, but I will start from the beginning now. I'm at the recommendation to Council, aanbeveling aan die Raad, the first one, that Council take cognizance of the draft 2021-2022 fourth review of the fourth generation integrated development plan, the RDP, and the draft 21-22 service delivery and budget implementation plan, 2 asseblief. Joop. Dankie. That Council take cognizance that the approved Spatial Development Framework 2018 as incorporated in 21-22 IDP review remain unchanged and therefore remains an approved sector plan with the Mossel Bay IDP. I'm going to point 3, that Council take cognizance of the draft annual budget of the municipality for the financial year 21-22 and addictive for the 2 projected outer years 22-23 and 23-24 and the multi-year and single-year capital appropriations as set out in the following schedules. And I bring to you the schedules. At 3.1, budgeted financial performance, revenue and expenditure by standard classification reflection on table A2. The next one, 3.2, budgeted financial performance, revenue and expenditure by municipal vote as reflecting in table A3. 3.3, budgeted financial performance, revenue by source and expenditure by type as reflected in table A4. 3.4, multi-year and single-year capital appropriations by municipal vote and and classification and associated funding by source as reflected in table A5. And then 3.5, capital detail budget reflected in Annex C. 4, that council take cognizance of the draft tariffs and charges, subsidies and discounts are, as reflected on the 21-22 draft tariff list, Annexure A for the budget year 21-22. I'm at point 6 that Council take cognizance of the draft measurable performance objectives for revenue from each vote reflected in section 17 of this document of the budget year 21-22. I'm at 7 that Council take cognizance of the recommended amendments to the draft budget related policies reflected in Annexure B and in the budget year 21-22. Point 8 that Council take cognizance of the proposed filling of the vacant and new post as identified by the Executive Management as shown in section 12 of this document. Point 9 that Council takes cognizance of the MSCOA implementation plan reflected on Annexure D. Be op asseblief. Kan ons 'n bietjie oprol? Daar skryf, dankie. Dis genoeg. Is by 9 that Council take cognizance of MSCOA. I've had that. The 10 that Council takes cognizance of the draft service level standards reflected in section 20 of this document for the budget year 21-22. 11 that all above mentioned documentation will be amended to include all the amendments approved by Council from the public departmental comments and objections. Point 12 that Council take cognizance of the loans to be obtained to fund the capital projects over the 2021-22 period as indicated in Annexure C, capital detailed budget. And then number 13, that approval be granted to deviate from the approved 21-22 IDP and budget time schedule with respect to activity 15C, which deals with a face-to-face work committee and public consultation sessions on the draft IDP and budget. And then the following ones, the recommended deviation is to invite written public comments of representations in accordance with Section 21 of the Local Government Municipal System Act, Act 32 of 2000. This method will be supplemented by Facebook, live streaming of word-based IDP, public consultative meetings where the local community will currently be granted an opportunity to make inputs and or interrogate the presented content. Kan ek nog opgaan asseblief? Then the last, the draft fourth review document and budget document to be distributed as separate annexures to the item. I've read to you all the recommendations, and Mayor, that will be your priority to lay this to the table, please.
Speaker, Alderman Petrie ter Blaans, Chief Whip of the Democratic Alliance, Alderman Barney Groenewald, Chief Whip of the African National Congress, Councillor Pieter Lechaba, fellow councillors, Municipal Manager, Advocate Thys Gilomee, Directors, Municipal Employees, members of the public, members of the media, all protocol observed. As the Acting Executive Mayor, I extend a warm welcome to all. I am appreciative of the fact that we are meeting as a country as we find ourselves in a time where the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on our livelihood and the way we are able to carry out business. I extend my heartfelt condolences to all who have lost loved ones during this difficult time, and I encourage all to comply with all the necessary preventative prescripts. I thank the Mossel Bay community for their continued support to the municipality and for their excellent commitment and maintaining a very high payment rate of their municipal accounts, despite the current economic conditions. This has had a positive impact on the sustainability of the municipality. The country's economy is still in a stage of recovery, with national government estimating a growth rate of 3.3% in the coming year, after the significant decline suffered across all sectors. As Mossel Bay is very much dependent on its commercial, industrial and tourism sectors, we can anticipate challenges in the next year or so for our industries to bounce back after COVID-19. The sustainability of Mossel Bay Municipality has been a priority for all within the local authority. Even though the municipality experienced a slight drop in the payment rate as at July 2020, I again thank our consumers for setting their municipal accounts timelessly and diligently. With sustainability at the forefront of our considerations, there has been a minimum increase in tariffs for the 21-22 financial year. However, this adjustment cannot be maintained in the future to ensure continued service delivery. As a municipality, we face difficult times ahead, for which a focused approach needs to be followed, which includes accurate revenue forecast, reduction within operational expenditures, and finding solutions to stimulate the economy through infrastructure development. We continue to strive to provide and maintain the highest standards of service delivery in the country, even though we face challenges such as resurgence of COVID-19, electricity and infrastructure constraints, low business and consumer confidence, and a decrease in local government grant allocations. The following assumptions I just want to address. The following assumptions have been made with the compilation of this budget. The current consumption trends used to estimate the 21-22 adjustment budget projections and the 21-22 budget ending of February used for 21-22 year. The general expenses increased with 4.5% from adjustment budgets to 21-22 budget. The current indigent totals that increased with 25% till the end of 22-21 year. The indigent totals increased by 20% for 21-22, 15% for 22-23, and 12% for 2023-24. Provision for impairments been made, which is 90% for the 2020-21 year, 90% for the 21-22 year, 93% for 22-23, and then 95% for 23-24. Then regarding salary increases, the salary and wage collective agreement for the period 1 July 2018 to 31 June 2020 has come to an end, and a new agreement is under consultation, which we hope will consider the current fiscal constraints faced by government. In the absence of a new salary and wage collective agreement, Mossel Bay Municipality has provided for an increase of 6.5%. A salary adjustment of 6.5% with normal notch increases and the filling of vacant positions amount to an increase in the employee-related cost of 8.8%. It must, however, be stated categorically that while Council does not support the salary increases to municipal employees in these trying times, the municipality is legally obliged to make the necessary budgetary provisions. Otherwise, this might lead to unauthorized expenditures. And this obviously doesn't mean that we do not appreciate the great work that's been done. But yeah, we obviously need to take the financial circumstances that we're in into consideration. If we talk about budget and tariff information, much of the total operational budget, almost 80% thereof, is made up of the bulk purchases of electricity, the cost of purified water, debt impairment and depreciation charges, employee-related costs, and the remuneration of councillors. This leaves the council no or very little room for manoeuvring. Major cuts were made to both the capital and operational budgets, yet the municipality was unable to cut the budget to such extent that it will be fully funded. After the implications of the above mentioned were implemented, the budget shortfall before recognition of the capital transfers amount to 87,102,405 rand. This improves slightly but remains a shortfall of up to 2023-24 budget years. In total, the envisaged budget shortfall for the medium term Reference Expenditure Framework, or the MTREF, amounts to 247,985,403 rand. The municipality could therefore not make any drastic changes to the increases on consumer accounts. Otherwise, it would lead to serious financial sustainability issues. The proposed tariff increases for the 21-22 budget year is as follows. The proposed electricity tariff increase in line with NASA tariff guidelines is 14.59%. It is important to note that the basic charges for commercial customers were not increased, as was the case per the previous year budget. Property rates as well as other service charges is proposed to increase with 5.5%. The budget provides a 1,363,936,094 rand for the operational budget, while the capital budget of 241,084,372 rand tabled is funded by 123,229,591 rand of own funding, 30,300,000 rand of new borrowings, and 87,554,078 rand of grants and donations. With all these numbers, I can understand why some other politicians always sometimes get it wrong. Presently, merely 268,000 of the billions of rands in paid promised by national government to municipalities to address COVID-19 has reached the Mossel Bay municipality. In turn, 650,000 was received from the provincial government. It does appear as if local government is burdened with a lot of unfunded mandates with little or no assistance from any other sphere of government, as you listen to the small amounts that we've received in terms of funding, as I've just mentioned. Relief measures for households. It's important to note that the normal credit control measures to get residential households in the safety net for assistance still exist. The safety net is in the form of indigent household subsidies and the rebate subsidies to the pensioners. These measures are not limited only to certain people or groups of the community. It is available to all residents who are negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. An additional provision was made for the number of indigent households by increasing the number of households by 20%. An additional provision was also made for the number of pensioners who will be able to apply for pensioner rebates. Indigent benefits. The indigent households will, however, receive the benefit of discounts on basic service charges such as water, electricity, refuge removal, sanitation, and property rates. The two levels of indigent subsidy are specifically developed to provide economic relief to those in the community who really need it. This relief is also extended to households, including a person with disability, should they comply with the necessary and specified criteria. Subsidies to indigent households. If we look at the 2020-21 year, the subsidy for an indigent level 1 household will be 683 rand 32 cents, and in the 21-22 year it will be 776 rand and 8 cents, including VAT. The level 2 indigent will be for the 2020-21 year be 341 rand 66 cents, and in the outer year 388 rand and 4 cents, including VAT. And then the households that houses a person with a disability will be 683 rand 32 cents, and the outer year 776 rand and 8 cents, including VAT. The criteria on which the subsidies are based are described in the tariff list under paragraph 6. The municipality has not forgotten the plight of our pensioners and has provided a pensioner discount on both the property rates and storage charges. In conclusion, Speaker, we once again would like to convey our gratitude to all our consumers who have diligently paid their municipal accounts monthly. It must be emphasized that people who can afford to should continue to pay their accounts. Should consumers be unable to meet their obligations to the municipality, they should immediately engage with the municipality to make the necessary arrangements to settle outstanding accounts. This arrangement is applicable for residents, commercial and industrial consumers as well. All outstanding accounts will follow the municipality's debt collection process. We believe that as the sphere of government that is closest to the people, the municipality carries the profound obligation to respond directly, immediately, and positively to the needs and challenges of our stakeholders and communities. The reviewed Integrated Development Plan, or the IDP, captures the issues raised by the various communities as the issues constitute the key priorities for the current political term of office. The provincial government of the Western Cape provides an opportunity for communities to submit such priorities for provincial sector departments to address. It is therefore important for the Mossel Bay municipality to ensure that we maintain a positive and healthy relationship with other spheres of government. We will continue to utilize our IDP as a point of convergence with other spheres of government to ensure that we jointly plan to avoid possible duplication of initiatives and therefore maximize the impact with respect of service delivery. In presenting this reviewed IDP, I want to commend the people of Mossel Bay for diligently heeding the call to assist the municipality in revisiting its development and service delivery agenda. I would also like to thank all the staff that were involved in all these documents. We could not have achieved this objective if it was not for the active and sustained participation of our communities in the process of setting the direction and pace of our development programs and projects. I want to rededicate the combined efforts of the political leadership and management of Mossel Bay Municipality to the task of fulfilling the local interests of our people within the national priority of providing the quality of lives of all our people. Speaker, I therefore propose that we accept today this item E80 with all the draft documents, and that we take that to our communities for the public participation process. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alderman Kotze, Deputy Mayor and Acting Mayor, with all those titles. Thanks for what you did this morning and put it or laid it onto the table. Can I have a seconder for this proposal by the Mayor?
Speaker, I will gladly second. Mark Furness.
Thank you. Being seconded by Councillor Mark Furness. Then, councillors, I made a promise, and I will want to make it in front of the whole council at the moment. There will be organized workshops as soon as possible. And after we had the public participation and the results on the public participation, we will have discussions on that as well. So no one of us have to be not think that he wasn't pulled in and that he was left out with anything of this in this budget. I see a hand of Alderman Groenewald, and I see a hand of Councillor Gous. It's not usual to respond on a draft that was for cognizance, but can I listen what you've got on your heart, Councillor? Alderman Groenewald.
Thank you so much, Speaker. Now, first of all, from the Democratic Alliance, the governing party within this local municipality, I would like to congratulate, first of all, our executive mayor, our municipal manager, and all our precious, professional, committed staff for the quality of the reports that were provided to us to consider. I know it's only taking cognizance of this, and that we will still follow the community participation procedure. But I really would like to salute you, Executive Mayor, Alderman Kotze, our Municipal Manager, Advocate Thys Gilumea, for the quality of the reports that you've submitted. There's lots of work that goes into that. And I would really like to applaud you and convey our sincerest appreciation of taking our people's concerns and the economic situation which we currently experience into consideration. To us, those that will not be coming back in the next term, this is a historic moment. This is the last budget and IDP that this term of councillors will present. And you know, dit maak my hart seer om te weet dat van ons nie gaan terugkom nie. But let me just share my appreciation and all our appreciation for the work so well done. You are platinum, you're not gold. You are sincerely platinum. I would just like to thank you for that. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Groenewald. We appreciate your kind words. Councillor Gous.
Thank you, Speaker. Good morning to everybody, or good afternoon to everybody. Speaker, I would like to take, as you said, it is for cognizance, the draft tabling of the budget and the associated documents. But there is a recommendation, the very last recommendation regarding community participation, public participation processes, which now due to COVID issues, we will not be able to conduct as usual. I note the suggestions that have been made, Speaker, but it is my concern that we are going to be excluding a very large portion of voters and residents that are sitting in areas where they maybe don't have access to the media platforms and the emails and that kind of thing, where they can engage with the Mossel Bay Municipality regarding spending in their wards and the needs that they have identified in their areas. Is there any other suggestion that we could perhaps offer? I'm thinking along the lines of pamphlet distributions, just letting people know that they can make their requests known to the municipality regarding the IDP specifically, the draft budget, just informing them where they can access it. I'm not sure if will we make it available at libraries and that kind of thing again. Thank you, Speaker. That is my only concern, is the public participation in the IDP, and then obviously the access to information and the access to get information back to us for the public. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Gous. I want to, I see a hand of Director Jantjies. I'll give him the floor just now. You know, Mossel Bay is always on the front foot. We've had, I think, around about 10 or 12 ward meetings, and we did it by WhatsApp, and it was something strange. All that quiet periods in between. At the end of the meeting, many of those people put up a hand and they were satisfied. And that was a new thing that was put to the test, and we definitely passed that test. We will pass every test that will be laid in front of us. You don't have to worry about the public participation not reaching anybody. We will definitely, and cannot tell you what the ways and means of it will be, but there will be ample space for everyone. And I want to put the emphasis on everyone to be part of the public participation process. Director Jantjies, you got something on your heart?
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Now I want to assure Councillor Gous that I think through this process, we're actually going to reach more people, because with our face-to-face meetings, we've actually in the past really didn't reach a lot of people, but access to information, yes, all the libraries, as we speak, they're busy printing the budget books and the IDP documents to go to the different libraries. We've done a thorough radio slots as well, So we've spoken on all three radios. We've had a thorough sessions with the ward committees. There's only 2 or 3 ward committees that still needs to meet, but all 10, as the speaker said, it has met. Everyone is very positive about it. We're also using the newspaper, Councillor, like in the past. We're using the newspaper as well, so there will be newspaper, and then again also in the newsletter as well to all the different community members in the community. So we're actually going to reach more people through this process than we've reached through the face-to-face processes. I hope that satisfies your query. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. With that, I think we're at the end of this day. This meeting will adjourn as from now. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you to you, Speaker, and
Dankie, Speaker.
Director James and everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. Thank you.
Dankie, collega's.
Bye.
Dankie, Leon. Birthday boy.
Dankie. Stuur geskenke. Bye.
Bye.